This portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
The Ministry of Education says it is taking steps to meet outstanding payments to teachers in the public school system.
Education Minister, the Honorable Jerome Fitzgerald, is in fact responding to claims made by the President of the Bahamas Union of Teachers that the ministry still owes $5.2 million in outstanding fees stemming from salary increases, promotions, and reassessments.
There's been various reassessments that haven't been done. There's been various promotions that haven't been taken into account. And in working with the union, earlier in my term as minister, I set up a department within the Ministry of Education whose sole purpose for the past year almost was to reconcile and get information of teachers who fell into this category. Before the budget year ended in June, we paid out about $1 million of this amount. I understand there's about 3 to 4 million still owing now. We have reconciled that. We have spoken with the Ministry of Finance. It is included in this year's budget, and all of this was related to the President. I have kept her fully involved in the process.
Thank you. The Education Minister confirmed that nearly 200 teachers who did not report to work on Monday will still have their salaries cut no later than October. However, Minister Fitzgerald says the union has indicated that it has $2 million to assist those members who will be affected.
So I say again, they will have to go to their union, but their salaries will be cut. And I don't want the union to in any way mistake my kindness for weakness. We at the Ministry of Education are very resolved in the position we have taken, and we will proceed along that way.
And at the news, Prime Minister Perry Christie today committed the government to doing more than is currently to make an intervention and address the needs of autistic persons, including promoting inclusion. A 3-day workshop for educators, students, and parents, which officially opened this morning at the Harry Seymour Library, was in fact the start of such effort, as the event is the result of a request made by the Prime Minister. As a parent of an autistic child, Mr. Christie joins millions more around the world, more parents around the world. However, with limited research, information, and trained specialists locally, the U.S. Embassy is facilitating the request by the Prime Minister in bringing an expert on autism detection and early intervention strategies, Dr. Valerie Carr. According to Prime Minister Christie, every child deserves equal opportunity. That's why he says the workshop is promoting inclusion, advocacy, and early detection.
Must be accorded the right to participate in the equity or the resources of the country. In other words, when you share up the resources of the country in education, there must be facilities for that child, and those facilities must be adapted to ensure that the child is able to have the opportunity similar to the other child. I'm going to take it beyond the talk, beyond the volunteerism, and I'm going to crystallize policy. So, beyond the prayers, because people have been praying and praying and praying, now they needed some action.
The National Institute on Health says that autism is on the increase, as 1 in 88 children will be autistic, with 1 in every 50 being a boy. Chargé d'Affaires at the U.S. Embassy here in Nassau, John Dinkelman, shares a common thread with Prime Minister Christie and is eager to support the effort.
No parent is ever prepared to hear the words, "I'm sorry, but your child has autism." Having received this dreadful news twice in my life, I know the feeling of overwhelming loss and hopelessness that comes with such a diagnosis. It is my sincerest hope that the efforts here made this week will only help to lessen such hopelessness on the part of others who are going down the same path in life. One of the most difficult parts of raising children with autism is an overabundance of confusing and conflicting information regarding causes, treatments, and possible cures.
Coming up in sports, how mighty are the Might Mitts as they take on the Bucks in semifinal action? Find out in ZNS Total Sports.
And coming up later, one artist looks to decode salvation. We'll explain his questions for society coming up. You're watching The Bahamas Tonight.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Andrew Knowles. Construction is booming in Palm Key, the 69-acre beachfront community development on Nassau's southeastern shore. The Anchorage, introduced in July as the first condominium offering in the complex, is nearly sold out with 11 of the 12 residences in Phase 1 reserved for pre-construction. More than a dozen local firms engaged in the fully investor-funded project with a complete build-out plan by 2017. Anastasia Campbell, associate in the Corporate and Financial Services Group at Graham Thompson, and Sanchez Brooks, underwriter at Summit Insurance Company Limited, have been selected by the Bahamas Financial Services Board and the Insurance Commission of the Bahamas for the Associates in Captive Insurance designation. BFSB is partnering with the ICB on the scholarships for the International Center for Captive Insurance Education course. BFSB CEO Aaliyah Allen says the course is the first and only comprehensive captive insurance education program in North America, and its courses are relevant to any domicile around the world. BFSB has been promoting the insurance sector, inclusive of captives, as part of its strategic and business development efforts for a number of years now. And in international business, China's premier revealed at the World Economic Forum that the country's economy is going through a crucial stage of restructuring. He pledged to improve relations with foreign firms and stressed that multinationals would get equal treatment with state-owned enterprises. The Chinese premier added that China was well placed to hit a growth target of 7.5% this year, despite a complex economic climate. This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Andrew Knowles.